Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more MPL. Right now well, I'm not going to tell you who we have playing. Just before I tell you who we have playing, I want you to promise to watch this video. Okay? Because guess what? Terran vs. Terran is a beautiful matchup, and it doesn't always end up in siege lines. Okay? This is like Go, but faster paced. So, without further ado, we have Ample going up against Scan, and it's probably not an hour long. Okay? Don't look at the timer. Just watch it and enjoy some beautiful TVT with me. It actually is the best mirror matchup. I know some people like ZVZ, but hey, look, the Ample Depot. But yeah, it's a great mirror. There's so much skill involved with it. There's so many tactics and everything. It's probably got the biggest defender's advantage in the game next to the Defiler unit. So it's just like that's why it's kind of hard to end games with it, but it also allows it's such a variety of play because you can kind of hold on and live with almost any strategy. The most volatile part of TVT is definitely in that early game, where you can have build orders that counter each other relatively hard, right? Like if you are both going vultures, but one of you has more vultures, that's pretty big. And you can lose the game over that. Now, this is, it looks like probably a factory expand out of Scan, but unluckily for him, this is going to be a command center first from Ample in cross spawns. So Ample should actually have a pretty sizable advantage. I think that this map is very good for moves like this anyways, but if Scan decides to do something very aggressive, the thing is he's not going to scout this that quickly, so he can't reactively be aggressive against this. Like if he scouted this first, yes, you can reactively be aggressive because you don't lose that much gas. But with factory expands, you start the factory and then you take 2 off gas. So you're not going to have enough when you scout this expansion second to really put guys back on gas and get the aggression going, see? And he's going to scout up here, then he's going to scout here, and by then he's about ready to make his command center anyways. So Ample going to start with an advantage this game. And like I was saying, I think it's a good map for something like this because you do have this small ramp that's pretty easy to defend. You do have 2 entrances, which could be tricky, but I think we'll probably see him, like the bunker might go here, and maybe he puts like a depot here and a depot here, something like that. Obviously, we're not going to know until he does it, but yeah, that's, as long as you kind of choke it up with buildings so vultures can't get in, you're going to be pretty good to go. Now that factory going to be finishing up. Scan coming over right now with that SCV. And he's going to scout the bad news. He doesn't really have a great punish ready. And as you can see, right, the command center was starting just as he got there. So there's not like something that he can just do to counter it. Factory on the way for Ample. SCV going to get some decent intel in here. And let's see what Scan wants to do from here. I believe he was actually making a vulture and canceled it, which is always going to be a good play because one slow vulture won't do anything against the bunker that you're going to put Marines into. SCV gets pushed away from the Marine on the ramp. Going to try to go around. Of course, there are 2 ways into that natural. Definitely wants to confirm if there's a command center. I think that's actually a very important thing, but yeah, he shouldn't waste any time. He should really just go. Now, the speed upgrade is being made by Scan. So this is pretty common, a pretty common way to play against these fast expansions is to just get a quick speed upgrade. The speed upgrade will finish with the second vulture getting almost all the way across the map. And then a lot of times what you'll see is the vultures just run by. If it's not a full wall. Now, this is a full wall. This is not. So there is a possibility that the vultures pop up here, run by the bunker, and get in and do some damage. But this is a command center first, not a gaseous expand, which means the first vulture is going to be out by the time these 2 vultures get in, which makes this a lot harder to pull off. Now, Ample going into 3 factory vulture. Scan adding his second factory. I don't think he's going to find any damage here. Look, he has the vulture sitting on the ramp now as well. Really good build order from Ample. Really, really good. So Scan waited for the third one to try to one-shot SCVs, but he's going to find himself unable to get up the ramp. Yeah, has to turn around, takes a bunch of damage on those vultures. And now there's no way for him to really outproduce the vultures that Ample's going to have. So I think right now Scan needs to switch it up immediately. You see him getting his armory going. And yeah, this is going to be a tough game for him. Because look, we have a 4 SCV advantage for Ample and 5 factories. Over here, again, like, look, he has got less SCVs, and he might even have to cut some. And he's got 2 factories. So that's really tough. There's just no way to keep up on that vulture count, and that makes your vultures a lot weaker in general. Now, he did get the mines quickly, which is really, really good. He's going to lay some mines out, which is going to stop siege tanks from approaching him, because he knows he's going to get contained. Like, if you see that vulture out already, it's almost 100% that your opponent is going mass vulture. And if Command Center first goes mass vulture, it has more vultures than the other builds that exist. There isn't... It's like the ultimate vulture making opener. So he's going to just lay these mines out. And again, this will give him vision of where the vultures are coming from. It'll stop siege tanks from getting right on top of him, that type of thing. And then the vultures can help his other units to do battle. Now, Tank Goliath being produced. Academy on the way. Very important to get that right away. SCV unfortunately stuck behind the minerals here. Kind of poor building placement. Ample up here just pumping 5 vultures at a time. His mines are finishing. He's got so many vultures out on the map. You can see the supply difference. There's only 3 workers or 2 workers now that are different, but 13 additional supply. So a lot of vultures out on the map right now. Tank Goliath waiting. This army holds on. He can't be killed. So the game goes forward. Going up to 4 facts now. He does have an advantage as far as tech goes slightly. And he's like, Scan is caught up in workers as well. And that's kind of a function of getting 5 factories so quickly. You have to cut quite a few workers as Ample. Still, it's good saturation. Like 2 bases, 48 SCVs. Solid. And he can, I'm sure he'll restart SCV production when he's getting ready to take his 3rd anyways. Just throwing that out there. Right, so pushing back this barracks for now. +1 on the way for Scan already. That's a very quick +1. And I think we'll see him just throw down a command center probably. It doesn't seem to me like he has like too many options. He can't really get aggressive, I don't think. Thing is, when you get Tank Goliath, you can kind of beat your opponent's vultures. But I think he has to play a more closed-up game. Counterattacks are a real possibility. It's a big map to move across, a lot of mines everywhere. He's not going to have enough scans to really clear that all out. And of course, he's got to know that Ample has switched into siege tanks. When your opponent switches into siege tanks, the proper move as the vulture user is to make sure that you have enough vultures, that you have map control, and then switch into siege tanks yourself. And you can have like a few less and just use your map vision, your map awareness, your extra vulture count to kind of make up for that. Ton of vultures out right now. My God, that's like 2 full groups. It's up 30-ish supply right now. 3rd add-on comes down. 3rd CC is on the way, and looks like Scan gonna start his just slightly behind, but that's okay. It's not a big difference. Now the vulture's coming in, and I don't like that from Ample that much. It's not the end of the world for him. That's not like a game-losing move, but like trading like 8 vultures for like 4 vultures is not particularly good. I guess he slows the command a little, but that's not what he was going for, I don't think. Yeah, the thing is, the vultures do lose some of their power later in the game. They don't scale as well into the end game. When you get like 150, 160 army supply of mech, the vultures start to disappear pretty quickly in fights. But yeah, we'll see if that actually matters what he just did there with those vultures. Now, Scan clearing out some of these eggs for better unit movement, really opening up the map. I tell you, the pathing is so much better once you get rid of those eggs. eBay coming up. Science facility being made as well. So he's not going to be exactly ready to start that +2, but getting it pretty quickly. Look up at Ample's side. He's added a few wraiths in here. It's pretty common to throw in a dropship or a few wraiths at this point in the game. Doesn't look like we have that from Scan, but you know, the wraiths, these will find value eventually. You don't even have to use them right off the bat. Now, a few vultures running in. Ooh, I like this split. He hides 3 up here for use later on, 2 going into this third base location. So these 3 that are hiding, 3 one-shot in SCV. So he sacked 2 of them. And now Ample just probably lost track and doesn't realize that there's 3 up here. So those have real potential. When he sees the vultures elsewhere, he should send them in. Now sending 3 vultures over the side, just laying some mines. And here we go. Ooh, this is going to do really good damage. Watch this. Okay, so... Oh, that kind of missed Micro in there a little bit. But yeah, starts picking off these SCVs. Getting quite a few here. The vultures coming back, but most of the SCVs at this third base going to actually end up dying to this. So really, really good move. All right, Scan's setting up some siege tanks. Huge line from Ample on that high ground. You can see, though, he's now behind in workers for the first time in the game. Scan adding more factories. It's quite a bank of minerals right now. Setting up a siege here so he can take yet another base. A lot of vultures coming down towards this third base expansion. I mean, they can clear the siege tanks, I guess, but the siege tanks should buy enough time to reinforce if that's Ample's plan. Oh, missed a little vulture run by up there, so gets more SCVs once again. Obviously, a really good move to trade any vultures he can for SCVs right now, just kind of keep that count low. The army supply for Ample is really higher. He's up about 40 army supply right now because Scan has sacrificed so many vultures to kill SCVs. So I think we will see an attempted bust. Will that bust end up working? Scan does not have +2 attack yet. Oh, he's not leading with his vultures here. If Scan targets siege tanks, that could do very well. But it looks like there's just too much here as Ample starts to roll through Scan's defenses. His 4 tanks up here not doing very much. Some of these siege tanks over to the side, bringing up his own vultures now. But that siege tank count is enormous for Ample as he continues to plow through. Now, I don't think he can get up into the natural or anything. This is a good enough defensive position. But this is some serious containment. There are ways out still, and I hear a dropship, so Scan still has ways to make moves around the map. But if he can hold this type of area, it's going to be amazing. Oh, he loads up SCVs for bombs, actually. All right, okay. Obviously, a nice unsiege from Ample. This is such a funny thing to see the SCVs just dropped on top. The wraiths finally come in. Okay, there they have their glory. And actually, there's no Goliaths left. So he's actually going to get some great damage done with these wraiths. Fantastic to hold them till those Goliaths got cleared. Now the tank's up, getting repaired a bit here as well. Goliaths obviously have to be made to deal with this. Gonna move back, remove this floating engineering bay. He can get rid of the barracks as well. Scan's still all right. He's got a lot of workers. He does have this base up that is kind of going overlooked right now. Let's take a look at how Ample is recovered. He actually hasn't recovered the SCVs at this base. Looks like he's just transferring from his main. So he will get that saturated really, really well. We don't see another command center as of yet. Looks like he's thinking about it, though. We have an SCV down here. He's sending some units up to try to clear it, but Scan very much on top of that with his vultures. Clears that out very viciously. Looks like the Wraith's going over to try to help deal with this as well. Would love to see like a couple turrets here. I'm not sure if we even have the engineering bay, though. Ample hasn't been in a position really where he's needed it as of yet. All right, so Scan keeping a slight defensive posture here at the front of his base. Still has... Okay, he's mining the gas, so at least that's something here. Now, Scan going to try to break out right here. Coming up, going up this ramp. Ooh, that mine just fantastic. Some great mines being laid here from Scan as well. Ample with the reinforcements. Tanks coming down. Vultures getting on top of this little siege of Scan. Seems like he should be able to save these last 3 tanks. Bringing up more reinforcements here as well. Getting pretty close in supply, but definitely better mining going on for Scan right now. Okay, bringing in SCVs. Looks like we're going to have an attempted bust. Only +1 attack. We do have 2-1 for Scan here as well. So that's definitely going to help out quite a bit. And yeah, he is going to be able to clear these tanks up to the north, but more tanks coming, so he's got to be careful about that. Ample could get pretty efficient, dropping on top of these. Oh, a couple Goliaths here left over as well. Ooh, very nice from Ample. Just barely gonna break through that army of Scan. Dropships going away. And out come some Valkyries. I actually hadn't noticed that he made a few Valkyries here. But obviously 3 Valkyries are going to just demolish 4 Wraiths. So no more anti-air there for our boy Ample. Finally, taking control of this area and sending SCVs up to his 4th base. The economy of Scan getting a little bit out of control. Ample does start his own 4th, but this feels a little bit late. You can see their army supplies very, very similar right now. But much better mining, much better economy for Scan, who is even taking another base at this point. Oh, Ample kind of walking into everything here. Valkyries dealing with this floating building. The science facility going down. That's very annoying. Ample does have +2 now, though. So the science facility, not as important anymore. That's really the most important upgrade. And on low economy like this, sometimes you'll just sit on that. Although we can see he did start 3-1. Okay, let's take a look. All right, looks like Ample wants to cut the map down this way, but Scan already has this base kind of covered. So while Ample, yeah, maybe he can start to set bases up in the bottom right. This is quite a foothold in his territory, right? Like, to mirror this, Ample needs to also take this base, right? If the map gets cut in half. And like I told you in the beginning, that's not going to happen. Not that I've seen this game, but trust me, it's fast and furious. All right, some turrets being made. Looks like he wants to entrench his position a bit more on the containment. Ample adding another add-on, it looks like. Yep. 4 add-ons, 3 no add-ons. Has a good amount of dropships here as well. Scan trying to push into this area. Yeah, on the low ground, not going to have too much success, I think. Ooh, beautiful mine goes off. Clears that out. Seems to me... Okay, so it feels like Ample is starting to gain some more control in this game. This is like a very powerful foothold. Scan has had a better economy for a lot longer now, and you can see that kind of reflecting in the supply now. Yeah, he does have these Valkyries still, which are still useful. Kind of sieging up, pushing forward a little bit, but these are very small amounts of units. He definitely needs to get a bit more down there. You can see Ample kind of rolling through and clearing some of this out, retaking some of this low ground. Okay, just going to siege up on the ledge. Meantime, we do have a bit of a drop coming out here from Scan. Going to eliminate a lot of the SCVs, and that SCV count for Ample hasn't been healthy for a very long time, don't forget. Going to bring his own drops and clear that out. No problem keeping the expansion alive, but has to send more SCVs down. Scan building that dropship count a bit. Continue to produce. All right, 4 dropships. Where did the dropships go for Ample? Okay, he's got 5 of his own. So this is definitely a thing that can happen in Terran vs. Terran, where you both have a big fleet of dropships, like dropping locations, then reinforcing the dropped location. And it seems like that's going to be what we're dealing with here. Scan trying to be aggressive with his, and then Ample kind of countering by flying in with his own dropships to save the day. Okay, here we go. Drops out over the turrets and mines. This is going to get cleared up. This is not a very good drop from Scan, honestly. With this many dropships, this is an easy clear for Ample. Very much more efficient for him, but the thing is, sometimes it's okay to be inefficient. And you can see, Scan's bank here, gigantic. 80 SCVs against 47. He's up a good 40 supply right now as well, although most of that is in workers. Ample keeping his dropships very healthy throughout this. Might end up seeing him try to get some sort of very aggressive drop-off. Coming in to drop on this little push is trying to break his tanks in the middle. It does break the tanks in the middle. Might be time to pick those up, by the way. Too many units here coming down. Gonna maybe walk through some mines. No, pulls it back. As he rallies down, more siege tanks here. Okay, gonna back up. Kind of maintains the area. But Scan still has a gigantic economy. Ample unable to make more command centers as of yet. This base, okay, yeah, let's take a look. Okay, about a third of the mineral patches left there. This one's very healthy, but hasn't been able to keep SCVs at it. Some vultures running in. He will go ahead and clear that out with the counter drop. Well, Scan now maxed out. Not sure what Ample's going to be able to do at this point to really fight back. Looks like he's going to drop off here. Scan was planning on expanding here. I don't think this actually reaches the command center. Yeah. Not really finding a lot there. Ooh, Scan drops into it, but you know what? Actually, that is okay. He's got so much right now. Just killing anything is worthwhile. So Scan clears that out. Ample's just going to siege. His containment doesn't seem like it's something that can last much longer. He's still got a lot of army supply, right? You got to add 40 to this to see what the supply actually is compared to Scan for fights, right? So he's got like 153 as far as army. Nice little move, being as efficient as he can. Scan getting a little bit low on the mineral patches as well. He is securing this base now. That's really powerful. Ample really needs to get more bases under control. He's just kind of running out. All right, another drop here from Scan, denying some of the mining. It is a great matchup, seriously. Like, Ample's kind of dead, but, like, guys, if you're still with me, thank you for loving TVT like I do. It is a beautiful matchup. It's just Scan got kind of far ahead now. We had some really cool scuffles, and now Ample is, you know, you never want to leave a game. Crazy things happen, but it's not going to this time. Scan's going to finish him. I think Ample's not going to stay in the game much longer. And yeah, the siege tank's getting cleared here in the center. The last few dropships of Ample coming in, and that's going to get cleared. We should be seeing GG. We should be seeing GG. Maybe these two units are going to do it. GG!